Story 1. When Humans Outrun Light Speed. The intergalactic press conference was buzzing with reporters from across the cosmos. The Arcturians had called the urgent gathering to make a major announcement that would shake the foundations of the universe. Murmurs swept through the crowd as the Arcturian ambassador glided up to the crystalline podium, his large oval eyes blinking rapidly. "Thank you all for coming. We have dire news. Yesterday, at 1300 hours, a human vessel was detected traveling at speeds exceeding the universal speed limit." Gasps erupted from the gathered crowd. Breaking the light speed barrier was thought to be impossible, a fanciful dream of science fiction writers. The Arcturian ambassador continued, "We don't know how they did it. Our scientists say it defies the laws of physics. All we detected was a small blip on our scanners before it surpassed light speed and disappeared." A veteran reporter, Knocknar of Sirius B, raised a tentacle. "Did you attempt contact with the human ship?" "Unfortunately not," said the ambassador. "It happened so fast. One micro-click they were crawling along at sublight speed. The next, they were gone." The crowd buzzed with distress. A violation of cosmic speed limits could have disastrous effects on causality and the space-time continuum. "Do we know where they were headed?" asked another reporter. "Based on their trajectory before the incident, we believe they were traveling toward the Crab Nebula." More concerned murmurs. The Crab Nebula was home to a temporal anomaly that some scientists hypothesized could be used for time travel. The ambassador continued, "Earth has assured us they are looking into the matter with the utmost urgency. We can only hope." Suddenly, the doors burst open and a human skidded into the room. He was wearing sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt and had a fruity cocktail in his hand. "Sorry I'm late, dudes," he said, out of breath. "Lost track of time in the Crab Nebula." The reporters stared, speechless. "Whoa, tough crowd," said the human, sipping his cocktail. "Anyway, turns out you can't actually break the light speed limit. We just rigged up some multi-dimensional quantum tunneling tech on the ship's warp drive. Kinda technical, but it let us pop over to the nebula and back in like 5 minutes." He paused and shrugged. "My bad, though. Should have cleared it with you folks first. Don't want to cause any intergalactic incidents. Anyway, got a blast." And with that, he turned and left, leaving the confounded press conference in stunned silence. Story 2. The Girl Who Domesticated Alien Beasts. "Incredible, simply incredible," muttered Professor Vlox under his breath. The esteemed extraterrestrial zoologist had seen many peculiar sights during his tenure, but nothing quite like this. Before him sat a young human girl, no more than 8 Earth years, beaming with pride. And surrounding her, a terrifying menagerie of alien creatures now as docile as domesticated pets. There was a snarling Kragnox, a mass of teeth and muscle capable of shredding steel. It now happily wagged its spiked tail as the girl scratched behind a row of eyes. A giant swamp toad from Zartha croaked contentedly as she gently stroked its slimy head. Even the infamous tempra snake of Jovia seemed hypnotized by the child, swaying gently to her soft humming. "Fascinating," muttered Vlox, cautiously approaching to inspect the creatures. The Kragnox pack hunt with ferocity rivaling the bears of Darvik 7. Yet this one nuzzles you like a common hound. "However did you tame these beasts, child?" "Oh, that was easy," giggled the girl. "The Craggy just needed a comfy bed, a couple yummy steaks and a good belly rub. And Mr. Toad loves it when I brush his warts and sing lullabies." Vlox's pupils dilated in wonder. "Remarkable. I've studied xenofauna for 3 centuries and never witnessed such instant domestication. You've made breakthroughs we Zulaxi have sought for millennia." The girl smiled. "Aw, animals just want food, walks, and cuddles. They're not so different than dogs and cats back home. I can't wait to bring them all back to meet Mom and Dad." Vlox's scaled brow furrowed in concern. Perhaps we should keep these rare specimens here for study. We could learn much from... Suddenly, the Kragnox growled menacingly at Vlox, bearing a maw of razor fangs. "Craggy says he wants to come home with me," said the girl confidently. "Don't worry, Mr. Vlox. You can visit any time to play with us." Vlox nodded nervously as the massive beast's snarling ceased. Perhaps letting the child depart with her new pets was for the best. There were some forces in the universe even a Zulaxi did not fully comprehend. Story 3. Humanity's debut on the galactic stage. The Milky Way Opera House buzzed with activity as alien dignitaries from across the galaxy arrived for the annual Festival of the Stars concert. This year's performance marked a historic milestone. It was to be humanity's debut act in front of the intergalactic community. Backstage, the human delegation prepared nervously. Ambassador Charlotte Grace smoothed out her gown while the orchestra tuned their strange instruments. "You ready for this, Ambassador?" asked the conductor. "This crowd can be a tough one." "Absolutely," beamed Charlotte. "Humanity has been rehearsing for this moment. Our performance will show the galaxy why our species deserves a seat at the interstellar table." Before long, the lights dimmed and the curtain rose. Charlotte walked on stage to polite applause. She stepped up to the Mineral Sonic and activated the set list embedded in her biomemory. "Greetings, esteemed delegates of the Milky Way," she began. "On behalf of humanity, we are delighted to join you for this wonderful cultural celebration." With a deep breath, she began to sing humanity's carefully curated debut piece, an ode to peace and unity amongst civilizations. It was a sweeping ballad scored by an AI and sung in perfect alien-translated lyrics. When she finished, the audience offered sparse applause. Some dignitaries even began whispering to each other, confused expressions on their tentacled faces. Charlotte powered ahead with humanity's next piece, a soaring choral number meant to showcase human creativity. Again, it was met with little fanfare. By the fifth pre-approved song, the crowd had grown restless, checking their chronometers and murmuring impatiently. In the wings, Charlotte's team exchanged worried looks. This was not the glorious debut they had hoped for. In a moment of inspiration, Charlotte stepped to the front of the stage. "My friends, it seems our prepared pieces have not resonated with you. Perhaps we should try something a little more human." She cued the band and launched into a passionate, off-the-cuff jazz number, scatting and sashaying across the stage. The orchestra, bless them, kept up beautifully. As she belted out the spur-of-the-moment lyrics, the crowd began nodding along. A few tentacles even tapped to the rhythms. Charlotte transitioned smoothly into an impromptu rock piece, shredding the Mineral Sonic in a wild guitar solo. The audience cheered, loving this raw display of human creativity. Carried away by momentum, Charlotte tried her hand at Andorian hip-hop, Rigelian country, and Kantaran death metal. The orchestra experimented with their instruments to mimic the sounds. By the finale, the crowd was on their feet, hooting, whistling, and stomping in a raucous standing ovation. Charlotte took her bows and rushed backstage, into the open arms of the human delegation. "Ambassador, that was incredible!" cried the conductor. "Such artistry and innovation!" "I can't believe I just improvised an entire set list on the fly," laughed Charlotte, still catching her breath. "The Galactic Council is already raving about welcoming humans to the Milky Way stage," said an aide, scanning his data slate. "You should have seen the Duke of Betelgeuse's reaction to the death metal number." Charlotte smiled proudly. While humanity's debut may have had some improvised moments, it seemed the galaxy was now applauding their arrival. Story 4. Odds be damned. Humans capture a black hole. Captain's log, stardate 4050.6. The intrepid crew of the USS Endurance has accomplished what no other humans have dared attempt: the capture of a black hole, just 12 parsecs from Earth. Captain Adelaide Grant leaned back in her chair, grinning from ear to ear. Her unruly ginger hair poked out from under her cap as she kicked her feet up onto the console. Those nerds at the Academy said it couldn't be done, that trying to catch a black hole was crazier than trying to stuff dark matter in your pockets. But yours truly, Captain Adelaide O. Grant, never backs down from a challenge, especially one with 10-to-1 odds from that rapscallion Harsum run in astrophysics. She paused, taking a bite of a pink frosted donut. We lured the little bugger in using our Terraquarkian tractor beam array. Blackie put up a good fight, but Red Squadron braved the gravitational eddies like the brave, heartless tin men they are. She sat up, wiping powdered sugar off her uniform. I named it Gerald, by the way. Seemed fitting for a menacing cosmic void bent on devouring everything in its path. Don't worry, though. Our quantum napalm charges will keep Gerald in check. Just then, her number one, Commander Chad Kapoor, entered the bridge. Captain, I'm concerned about Gerald's effects on the ship, he said, consulting a data pad. Structural integrity is weakening on decks 9 through 12. We should release it before... Oh, don't be such a worrywart, Chad, Adelaide said, waving him off. So what if Gerald is slowly disintegrating those decks? We never use them anyway. She jumped up and headed for the viewport, where the captured black hole could be seen swirling ominously. Isn't he a beaut? Like a big inky marble of cosmic destruction. She sighed dreamily, ignoring Chad's concerned frown. Suddenly, the ship lurched violently, sending Adelaide stumbling into Chad's arms. Alarms blared across the bridge as the lights flickered eerily. Captain, I think Gerald's getting hungry, said Chad nervously. Right-o, number one, said Adelaide, straightening herself confidently. Battle stations, my brave crew. We'll show this void who's boss. Prep the photon warheads and laser lassos. It's time for an old-fashioned space rodeo. What followed was a rambunctious yet highly unscientific attempt to recapture the voracious black hole now tearing through the ship's hull. Adelaide fired off commands and one-liners in equal measure, refusing to surrender her cosmic prize. Come on, Gerald, heal. Play nice now. Don't make me get the antimatter spray bottle. Despite her best wrangling efforts, though, the black hole continued to rip through deck after deck. But Adelaide Grant didn't earn her captain's pips by giving up easily. With a maniacal laugh, she fired up the ship's emergency thrusters and plunged the tattered Endurance straight toward the black hole. Hold on to your socks, boys! We're going for a ride! And so, with total disregard for her crew's safety, the laws of astrophysics and common sense in general, Captain Grant rowed her doomed ship into the inky depths of Gerald, never to be seen again. The Academy never actually sent anyone to capture a black hole, of course, but they did name a wing after Captain Adelaide, calling her the bravest, most stubborn space cowboy in the fleet's history. All in all, she really took those 10-to-1 odds to heart.